Otis culture, fashion and craft. Hello everyone, you're welcome to Otis Culture. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing us on how to make 3 different styles of turban band on a turban base. Reason why I am doing this is because my subsequent video I'm going to be showing us on the design only, so that my videos will not be too long for my viewers. This is a non-stretchy fabric. As you can see, the fabric is not stretchy at all. So the measurements that I have are my head circumference plus 1 inch by 15 inches. I'm going to fold the base into 2 and notch the midpoint. Measurements that I have are 3 inches width by 15 inches. I have the same measurements on this other piece as well. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it into 2. After folding it, it will be 1.5 inches. I'll fold this into 2. Then I'll cross it this way and pin it down. The name of this fabric is called satin material. Then after that, I'm going to place it. This is the positive side of the fabric. I'm going to place it on it like this. Making sure that this V shape match the notch parts. Then I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew 1/2 inch this way. I've sewn it. As you can see, I sewed the band to the base. So the next thing to do, I'm going to cut this excess out. After sewing your turban, make sure that you overlock the inside to give it a neat finishing. Then the excess that I have here, I'm going to trim it out. I'll trim it out on this other side as well. It is better to have excess than to have shortage. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it into 2. Then I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew this way. The normal way we normally curve our turban base. So I'm going to sew it this way. I've sewn it round, as you can see. So I'm going to cut out the excess. After cutting it out, then I'm going to gather it up. This is how to make a turban base using a single cross band. Let me show us the back view. I'm using this fabric for the second style of turban band that I want to quickly show us. So the measurements that I have are, for the band, I have 16 inches by 9 inches. I have the same measurement with this, 16 inches by 9 inches. I am making a 4 steps V-shaped turban base with this. The previous one that I did on the green color, it is only a single band, but this one is going to have pleats, about 4 steps. Please note, the steps, it depends on your preference. You can make yours to be 3 steps, you can make yours to be 5 steps. I am making a 4 steps V-shaped turban base with this. For the base, my fabric is not enough. I usually like to use between 14 to 16 inches. What I have here is my edge circumference plus 1 inch. Why I added 1 inch is because this fabric is not stretchy. So I have my edge circumference plus 1 inch by 12 inches. When making yours, please make sure you use between 14 to 16 inches. It usually come out very nice at the back. So I'm going to fold this into 2 and notch the midpoints just the way we did with the previous one. Notch the midpoints. This is the negative side of the fabric, so I'm going to fold 1/2 inch. And sew it straight down. Please make sure that you are using a matching thread. Because of the tutorial, that's why I'm using a contrasting color of thread. So the next thing we are going to do, we'll continue to sew the rest of the pleat on the positive side of the fabric. So I'm going to fold in such a way that it will cover this first stitch. You will fold in such a way that it will cover this first stitch. Then you will sew. When you fold, this folded edge, it will reflect on the positive side of the fabric. This will serve as a guide for you to know where to sew. I'm going to fold over for the last one to give me 4 steps. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other piece as well. So I'm going to take my band and I'm going to cross it this way. As you can see, it has formed the V shape. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it. I'll pin it down. Make sure that the V shape aligns with the notch part of to sew it this way. Then I'll show us the next step to take. I've sewn it, as you can see. So I'm going to trim this excess out. just like the way we did on the other color. I'm going to trim out the excess from the edges as well. I cut out 12 inches by 6 inches, the same measurement with this as well. This is the positive side. So I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew a straight stitch, half an inch, then towards the down part I'm going to curve it. I'm going to sew half an inch, then towards the down part I'm going to curve it this. I've sewn it, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out the excess, then I will turn it to the positive side. I've turned it to the positive side, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do, I will take my base, I'm going to place this to the band this way, then I will stitch it. I will do the same thing on this. The next thing to do is to sew our turban the normal way that we normally curve it. I've sewn it round, as you can see. I did not sew it to the band. I started half an inch away from the band, then I sew it round. So I'm going to cut this excess. Then with my needle and thread, I'm going to gather it round. This is how the second style of the band looks like. Let me quickly show us the back. As you can see, it is very easy to make. You can decide to choose any band of your choice for your turban base. Let's quickly move to the third style. I'll be making use of this crepe material for the third style. This is stretchy. I'm going to use exactly my head circumference. I am not going to add seam allowance to it because it is a stretchy fabric. So the measurement that I have is my head circumference without any seam allowance by 14 inches. I'm going to use a pleated straight band for this. I'm not going to cross this style. I'm just going to pleat it straight down. I'm going to pleat as many as this fabric can give me. And the measurements that I have is still my head circumference by 9.5 inches. I'm also using the stretchy part of the fabric for the band as well. So let me quickly take to my sewing machine, pleat it, and show us the next step to take. I've sewn it, as you can see. I sew about 4 steps. So I'm going to put this aside. This is the base. I'm going to fold into 2 and notch the midpoints. To fold the band into 2 and notch the midpoints. This is the positive side of the band. I'm going to let it face the positive side of the base, making sure that the midpoint where I notch align together. Then I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew a straight stitch. I've sewn it, as you can see. So the next thing to do, I'm going to fold it into two. Then I'll take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew. I'm going to carve out our normal turban shape. I've sewn it, as you can see. So I'm going to cut the excess fabric. Then with my needle and thread, I'm going to gather it. I'm starting from the band. This is the final outcome of the third band. As you can see, it is very easy to make. Let me quickly show us the back view. We've come to an end of today's tutorial. If you find my tutorial helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you've not done so. I upload weekly tutorial on my channel. Also remember to click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Also, please let me know which is your favorite. Comment down below your favorite. Until I come your way next, please stay safe and remain blessed. Bye.